back, my friends, to another episode of JSkeleton's THPS 1+2 tips and tricks. That's not what we're actually calling this. I just wanted to say that. We are back, though, with another Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 video here on the channel. Yes, we're starting things off with the bail. This is a live com. A few of you guys wanted me to do a video on how to get massive combos, big combos. We're talking at least like 1 million points and up, right? So I'm not talking about like, 50 million point combos. I'm talking at least 1 million and up. I'm going to show you guys how to at least break the 1 million point mark, and then from there, and I'm going to tell you guys how to get past that as well, but from there it's going to be practice. So I'm going to do my best to give you guys some tips and tricks. If you are new to the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series, I've done 3 guides, the basics, kind of more advanced stuff, and then I did stuff about kind of specials and combos and different things like that. So there's three videos, kind of like a 3-part series. There's gonna be a playlist down in the description below with all my Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 videos. The first 3 videos are those guides. So if you guys are new to the series, you haven't really learned the fundamentals yet, definitely go check out those videos. There's also tutorials built into the game where you can kind of brush up on some stuff as well. So make sure you got the fundamentals down, because if you don't have the fundamentals down, then you're not gonna be able to get these big combos. Okay, you got to know all the basics. You got to know how to do things. I'm not here in this video to teach you how to revert and to teach you how to manual and all this stuff. I've already done that in other videos. I'm assuming you've already know that. No, you already know that stuff, excuse me, coming into this video. This is more like if you're, maybe you get a few thousand point combos, maybe you get a few 100,000 points. I've had some people say like, hey, I'm pretty good at getting like 400, 500,000 points, but I can't break 1 million points. So this video is for those of you guys who are in that category. You got a little practice under your belt, the fundamentals, and you're ready to take it up a notch and go to the 1 million, and up kind of combo range. So if you guys are ready for this, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, guys new, and let's do this. So you may be wondering, why are we doing this in 2-minute runs? Well, it's just kind of easier for me to explain it in 2-minute runs rather than free skate for a reason. And one of the reasons is actually, let me show you guys something. So in a 2-minute run, for example, if I do a kickflip, it's 100 points. If I do another kickflip, it's 75 points. So every time you do a trick, the amount of points goes down. So ideally, you want to first of all do as many different tricks within a combo as possible to add the most score as humanly possible. And you also want to do, like, if you are in a 2-minute run, you're not just in free skate, and you're going for like a super high combo, you want to try to do your bigger combo at the very beginning of a run. So if you screw up, that's how normally I do. Like, if you guys may have if you follow me on Twitter, you may have seen some of my runs where I got like 10 million points, for example, or whatever. That's because, like, if I screw up a run, like let's say I go for like a line here, right, and let's say I get pretty far into the line, even, right, like maybe I'm pretty far into it. I mean, this is not very far into it, but let's just pretend that I have a much higher multiplier, and then I screw up, right? Let's say either I bail or I land it, but it's not a big enough combo. Maybe it's 5 million and I'm trying to go for like over 10 million points, right? But hey, look, I still got a minute left, right? Well, then I'm just going to restart the run, because the tricks that I've already landed and done are already going to be worth something, right? So now they're worth less, right? They're worth less points because I've already done those tricks in that combo. And so I want my biggest combo to be the very beginning of a 2-minute run. So again, if it's in free skate, it's a little bit different. So keep that in mind. Do as many different tricks as possible. If you are in a 2-minute run, do as much of it as you can in the first combo. If you screw up, just restart the run. Simple as that. So one of the other things that's very, very important is adding specials. So the way the combos work, the way the scoring works in this game is split up into 2 categories: your base points and your multiplier. Your multiplier is based on how many tricks you've done. So, if you do 100 tricks, you'll have 100 multiplier. And then your base score is just based off of, points that each trick is worth, right? Which is why you want to do a variety of tricks. So have specials equipped, make sure, like, for example, I got quad heel flip on left, right square. I have a bad tendency to hit left, right square accidentally. So try to set your specials to things that you're not accidentally going to hit. Best way to test that out is just to, set specials to what you're comfortable with. And if you find yourself accidentally doing specials when you don't mean to, try to switch it to a different, button combination. So for example, a quad heel flip, I can click on it. Hold on. You actually have to end the run before you can change your specials. So I can click on it, and then I can change, what it's mapped to. I can put left up square instead, or whatever else. I'm gonna leave it for now. So I like to have a combination of things. I mean, I should definitely have more equipped, especially different grind ones. So grabs You know, flips, grinds, you can do flat ground ones. I'm going to go with these ones for now just because these are the ones I've been using. So I'll show you guys, you know, in the context of these. But the more variety of specials you can add to a combo, the better, especially for grinds too, because grinds, yeah, the longer you hold it, obviously the more points you get. A grab, or sorry, something like a varial McTwist, it's like a single animation. It's not something you hold. The salute you hold. So that trick is something that the longer you hold, the more points you get, but obviously you need enough air to hold it. The 360 varial McTwist is a single animation one, so it's basically a base score, and the more I do it, it's going to be worth less and less and less. I think it starts off, you can actually see, so if you go into your tricks, for example, you can see at the bottom right corner it says 360 varial McTwist 5,000 points. So the first time I do it in a run, it'll be worth 5,000 points, but anytime I do it again after that, it's going to be less and less and less in it. So you're going to want to make sure you have specials. Now, specials are going to be key to increasing that base score as much as possible. That's how you're going to probably see, if you play multiplayer, how sometimes people get like 1 million points in like 10 seconds flat. So basically, if I start off just like this, I do this special, which is varial McTwist, which is a single animation. I like to go into like a grind here. I like to hold my special grind as long as possible, because as you see now I have a 10,000 point base score. And then the more tricks I do, the more that turns up, right? If I throw this into the mix, you know, that adds even more. I could throw this into the mix, and then adds another little, you know, chunk. So now I'm already at 23. If I land this combo, I'm already at almost 1 million points. So you can get 1 million pretty fairly quickly if you know, increase your multiplier fast and you increase your base score fast. So how do you do this? So basically, again, I'm assuming that you know how to chain combos. I'm not here to teach you about manuals and reverts, things like that, right? You know that there's flat ground tricks, right? You want to increase your multiplier the best you can. So that means when you're doing manuals in between something, so if you're traveling from point A to point B, let's say I'm trying to go from this ramp, let's say I just came down from a grab and I go into a revert, and I'm trying to get to, let's say, that red rail, and I'm in a manual. Instead of just holding the manual, I'm gonna do, you know, flat ground tricks to increase that multiplier, and then jump onto the rail that I'm on. Keep in mind, when you do flat ground tricks though, they can slow down your momentum, so be a little bit wary on that. Be a little bit cautious on that. But especially grinds, like if you're grinding, if you're holding a grind for a while, do a few transitions, right? Keep in mind, wall plants to your friend to you know, do something like I just did right there. You know, typically what I like to do, for example, is like if I'm going to go off a wall plant, after the wall plant, I like to do a flip trick before I go back into the grind, or a grab. So if I'm grinding, I wall plant, I grab into the grind. And again, you're trying to do, you know, different variations. Try to think of grabs and flip tricks you haven't done or haven't done a lot of. Eventually, obviously, you're going to be, you know, repeating some tricks, because there's only so many different tricks you can do. But, you know, try to do as many different tricks as possible. You could do like a varial and stuff. Add rotations in when you can as well. So if I'm like here, I'm going to add a rotation into the grind, rotation out of the grind, with my flip tricks and with my grabs as well. So, you know, rotations help as well increase, you know, your multiplier, base score, all that good stuff. And, you know, just add rotations as well, so it becomes a 180 laser flip instead of just a laser flip, or a 180 kick flip, or a 360 kick flip instead of just a normal kick flip, and etc., etc. So those are all variations you can add to help as well, is rotations to, you know, add variance to your tricks. So the other thing is lines. Now, what are lines? If you're not familiar with skateboarding terms, it's basically like a path or a sequence of tricks and obstacles and objects you like to trick on, you know, back to back to back, and that kind of helps you set up your combo. So that's why I like to do my high score runs in warehouse, because I have, you know, a good line that I've kind of, you know, come up with here. I could come up with one in any level, obviously, but I've already kind of made one here, especially, you know, warehouse being one of the most, you know, well-known maps. It's been in multiple Tony Hawk Pro Skater games back in the day. It was obviously the demo for this this game here before the game came out, so I had, you know, a lot of time with this demo, as well as all the time I had back in the day. So, you know, spend some time trying to figuring out, you know, learn the maps, learn you know, the best kind of lines I like to take. So I'll give you an example. So I like to kind of hit up this wall first with the wall ride, and I like to trick out of it. You know, I like to hit up this rail after. Usually I'll go up this ramp and I'll do my first special, and then I'll like instantly go up this ramp, and usually I'll do a quad kickflip, which didn't register. And then I like to do my grind special here, just because I can hold it for a while to build up my base score. A wall plan off that. I usually fly over here. I'll do like another special here. You know, at this point I'll probably hit this rail. You know, I'll go up here, I'll do another grab. So I like to kind of try to get my multiplier up until, like, you know, the 50 range if I can, before I go into this thing I like to call a cheese spot, which is like right here. So right here, you kind of basically, it's like a sequence that you can go back and forth with wall plants and grinds. I like to flip trick between the gaps. and then, you know, I'll usually do a grab out of a wall plant. So like I'll grab there, and I'll do, like I said, the flip tricks between the grinds there. And that's kind of what I like to do. And then I, you know, for the big combos, for the ones where I get like 10 million, normally my base score is like between 60 and 70,000. And then my multiplier is probably closer to like, I don't know, 150, 160. You know what? I might be able to pull it off here. Let me see if I can actually get this going here and not screw this up. Sal flips. You gotta love sal flips. They always screw me. I had an 8 million combo there, just to give you guys an example. If you find a line you're comfortable with and you stick to it, you will get some pretty epic combos because you'll be comfortable with going a certain way. You'll know what you're doing. You'll know the map in and out. So that's very important to, you know, find kind of like a line that you like to do. You know, just skate the map for a while. You know, learn how, you know, everything flows in the map. All right, so this one is going to be a pre-recorded clip of basically a 10.7 million combo I got. So you guys can get a little bit of a sense of what I'm doing here. Now, just pay attention. You know, everything I just basically explained, I am putting into practice here. And that's the other thing, right? A lot of this is going to take practice. You're going to have to practice your lines that you're going to do, whatever level you choose to do it on. Practice, you know, specials and trick combinations that you like to add into the mix. You know, just practice, because it all comes down to practice. You know, same thing with like being able to balance, you know, on grinds and on manuals. A lot of people ask me, you know, well, how do you do it? I'll say this, you know, be gentle with your movements, you know, don't jerk the balance meter, you know, left or right. You know, try to be a little bit more gentle with the movements as much as you can, because if you hit it too hard, it's going to fly off the other end and vice versa, right? So, you know, there's a kind of a sweet spot to how much you're moving it. Obviously, the more you grind and the more you manual within a combo, it gets more and more sensitive. So you got to kind of, you know, push it a little bit more, but be careful with that. And there's a lot of people out there, I would call them D-pad elitists, that, you know, will preach that, you know, the only way to get really high combos is D-pads. Right now, at the time of recording, I am ranked 125 in the world in warehouse for the highest run, and that's because you know, I just do whatever I'm comfortable with. The reason I use a stick, a lot of people have been asking me, the reason is because, yes, I did play this game back in the day. I started on PS1. I played this game a ton, but by the time Tony Hawk Underground came out, I was playing on the GameCube, and I just started using the stick on the GameCube, and that's just ended up what I got comfortable with. Now, technically, the D-pad can be more precise. I don't like the D-pad on the PS4. I think the D-pad on the PS4 kind of sucks. If it was on Xbox One, I think the D-pad on there is a lot better, so maybe I'd be more comfortable with that than the stick. I don't know. But, you know, on my console of choice on the PS4, I prefer using the stick. It's just what I got comfortable with using ever since Tony Hawk Underground 1 came out, and Tony Hawk Underground 2, and American Wasteland, Proving Ground, Project 8. Like, I ended up playing all those games with a stick, so that's kind of why I use a stick right now, for those you guys that are probably wondering. So again, just use whatever you're comfortable with, you know, the stick or the D-pad. Now, I actually do a little bit of a hybrid. I primarily use the stick, but once in a while I actually switch to the D-pad within the middle of a combo, just to kind of like fine-tune my balance in a manual or in a grind. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I don't like using the D-pad for everything else, like to steer and to, you know, for everything else, especially on the PS4. I don't like the PS4 D-pad. So again, maybe you can use a hybrid like me. Maybe you can, you know, use exclusively the D-pad if you're most comfortable with that, exclusively the stick, whatever you're most comfortable with. Find out your kind of rhythm and whatever you know you're best at. If you're feeling like you're not really good with the stick, try the D-pad. If you're feeling you're not good with the D-pad, try the stick. If you're feeling you're not good still, try a hybrid. And if you're still not good, then I mean, just practice more and eventually you'll increase. So again, there's no easy way for me to just say, you know, do this and you're gonna instantly have like 1 million to 5 million to 10 million plus combos. All I can do is give you guys the best tips and advice that I can that's worked for me, and you got to practice it. Like anything in life, you just got to practice until you get better. You know, but I think especially if you're adding all these tricks and tips that I've kind of taught you throughout this video, you know, the way you're chaining things together, use gaps as well to your advantage, by the way, because gaps obviously are another thing that help. You know, use gaps, use lots of specials to increase your base score, because like I said, a lot of specials will greatly increase your base score. You know, try to find lines, you know, paths that you like to take, in whatever levels you're most comfortable with. And if something feels like it's not working, just tweak it. You know, if you feel like a certain line's not really working out for you, try to, you know, go a different way, use different objects and different sequences, different tricks and different sequences. But like I said, the biggest thing is, you know, adding as many specials as you can into the mix. You know, try to practice on your balancing. Obviously, you know, having max stats is key for this. If you don't know where all the stats are, and if, you know, you want to know how to do 100% runs of all these levels. And the skate tours, I have guides for all that. Again, it's in the playlist down below. But you know, again, I think these are the best tips and tricks I can really give you guys, besides, you know, all the other tutorials that I've already made that are on my channel, which again is also in that playlist. If there's anything that you have questions specifically for, you can ask them down in the comments below. But like I said, the biggest thing is just practice, learn the level inside and out, try to find, you know, lines that you're really good at, you know, sequence of objects, and, you know, a sequence of paths that you can take that, you know, you can do different tricks that mix up manuals and grinds and grabs and you know, different things like that, like vert, I guess not just specifically, you know, grabs, but anything that's in the air, vert, and different things like that. And I think, you know, you'll get a lot better. Again, you can, you know, play with the different specials, learn the different tricks, do a variety of different tricks. And you know, if you use all these tips and tricks I've given you in this video, I think you'll at least be able to smash 1 million points a lot more easily than you were before, you know, watching this video. So I think that's pretty much the gist of it. Again, if you have any questions, please do leave them down in the comments below. If you have any recommendations for, you know, other Tony Hawk Pro Skater videos you'd like to see from me here on the channel, or anything gaming, because this is not obviously just exclusively Tony Hawk Pro Skater, you know, content on this channel. I do all things gaming. If there's anything you'd like to see from me, whether it's Tony Hawk Pro Skater or other things gaming, let me know in the comments below. And let me know if this did help you guys out, if you guys have been able to get 1 million plus combos because of these tips and tricks. That said, if you did find a video useful, be sure to leave it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe guys new, and I'll see you guys very soon in another one. Until then, my friends, game on, and thanks for watching.